Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. This morning I'm promoting another Saturday morning live show. Saturday morning, of course, at 9 a.m. China time. That's 6 p.m. in LA, 9 p.m. in New York. Not quite sure what time it is. I think 8 a.m. in Bangkok, 9 a.m. Hong Kong time. Anyway, this one is featuring Alex from Reporterify Media. You betcha. Our host, Lee Barrett from the Bear Channel, and Matt from Gweilo Nation, and yours truly, of course, Gweilo 60. And what are we going to be discussing this time? Well, this week is, when is the world going back to normal? And I think this is sort of a loaded question, just for the fact that what's normal, especially in China. Normal can be one thing one year, and then the next year it's totally different. Things do change here very rapidly, and I think it's because of the economy, the number of people, the speed that the infrastructure grows. This video will actually go out on an afternoon or an evening, Friday afternoon or Friday evening, and the next morning is the live show. So I'm cutting here a little short here, guys. It's not like me. Usually I'll put something like this out on a Thursday, even a Wednesday. But I've just been so damn busy with everything that I just haven't had a chance to get to this yet until now. As everybody knows, the economy around the world has slowed down because of the COVID-19. China is the first one to get up and going again. The manufacturing is at full swing. People are back to work. But does that really translate into dollars and cents for the Chinese when the rest of the world is still in the clutches of this COVID-19? Nobody's out there willing to buy anything, just for the fact that they're all housebound, they're all locked up, they're not going anywhere, they're not buying cars, but in China they are. See, domestic consumption is helping China, but it's not helping them to the point where their economy is bouncing back to where it was before. And that could be a problem for China, because they have to keep a large growth rate going in a place with 1.4 billion people. You've got to employ people. You've got to, they don't have the social welfare programs that they do in the Western world. So people make their money by actually working, manufacturing, selling, domestic purchases, restaurants, wet markets, to local clothing makers, to all of these different things. In China, I've seen an uptick in the number of businesses that did close during COVID-19, but other people are renting these spots now and starting new businesses, and it's getting to the point where it's just about back on the ground here in China. It's just about back to where it was before. Not quite, but I noticed that the numbers in manufacturing went way up, and then they're starting to decline now because they've got the inventory, but they don't have the people to come and buy their products. And this is a problem in China, because a large part of the economy is based on manufacturing. A large part of the economy is based on manufacturing and exports to different countries, where your biggest export country was the United States, and everybody knows that the United States is in frickin' trouble, up to their ears in incompetence by their government and all this other garbage that I've already talked about in another video. But the thing is that if they're not buying, that hits the bottom line in the Chinese economy, and that's one of the things that is really going to hurt China in the future. In places like the UK, places like Canada, places like Australia and New Zealand and France and Spain and Italy, and all of these countries that are fairly large buyers of Chinese products, and not just through Walmart, guys, but they buy a lot of manufacturing goods from China. They're just not buying. They're buying a little bit, but because people are still in lockdown, people are still worried, people aren't out working yet, they don't have no money. Chinese are savers. Westerners aren't. They spend every frickin' penny they got, and they go to their credit card and spend more, and that's just the way it is. So when the rest of the world isn't buying, this hurts China's bottom line terribly. You're probably wondering if I just pick random spots and just pull out my camera. That's exactly what I do. I drive around on my e-bike, and every once in a while I say, oh, this is not a bad little spot. Pull out my camera and just start yarbling. It's Gweilo style, I know. But when will the world be back to normal? See, that's a trick question to begin with, but you know, the normality of a place like the United States before this CV hit was their economy was strong. They were riding the wave. Their dollar was way up. Their stock market was way up. Everything was rolling along just perfectly. And then the CV hit and screwed everything up. When will they be back to normal? Well, I don't think that they're ever going to go back to the way that they were before, because holy smokes, they had the tiger by the tail, and now they don't. They're in the thralls of an epidemic, and it seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. Will they open up the doors, the Chinese doors to the Americans in 2020? Absolutely not. Not a chance in hell. Not the way that they're dealing with the CV over there, because China's pretty well eradicated it, and you know, they don't want it back. So for the States, not this year. Maybe in 2021, maybe, but absolutely not this year. How about Europe? No, not this year either. See, they're in the thralls of it also. They've got some countries that are doing better than others, but still, it's out there. It's still an epidemic in Europe. You got South America. You got Africa. You got Brazil is running for first place in the epidemic against the United States for a number of people sick and a number of people dying, and I think they're going to overtake the United States. So the rest of the world out there is in trouble, and they're not doing a very good job of fixing things, and there's no timeline on when they're going to be back to normal. Places like the province of Taiwan, probably back to normal now. You're looking at China. Well, how many people do you see wearing a mask? So when you consider that places like the United States used to be financially secure, and now they've had to literally spend trillions of dollars bailing out their banks, bailing out their companies, large companies, and that's a big bucks, giving money to your regular people because they were locked down, they were quarantined, they couldn't go to work. Who's going to pay all this money back? Well, yeah, you are, as a taxpayer, going to have to pay all that back. So that's an added burden on the people of the world, not just the United States, all around the world. The Canadians were doing the same things. I'm not sure about Europe, but I do know that the Canadians spent a lot. And one of those things is that how do you bounce back from that? Well, in a short time period, you don't. But then you look at a place like China, that it took them about 3-4 months to basically bounce back from square zero to where they are right now. All of these businesses are open. The university is still closed to most students. I noticed the kids at the gate waiting for their delivery food. So it hasn't opened up on a government level yet here in China, but on a business level, definitely it has. I had to stop back there. A young guy, he says, I watch your stuff on Bilibili. I don't put on Bilibili. I didn't have the heart to tell him, well, those are pirated, you know. But whatever. It's all good advertising. That's why I put that little watermark in the top left-hand corner of all my videos. So when people are ripping off my videos and putting them on Bilibili, at least I get advertising out of it. So I guess it's a good thing. What is good about that is before they do that, what they do is they take my videos, they download it, they translate the whole thing, then they put it up on Bilibili, so I'm hitting a whole new group of people. I'm not benefiting anything other than the advertising off of it, but hey, I make these videos as a hobby, for fun, and if people can learn off of them, what do I care if I make anything off of it? But it's just not an economic hole that the world has fallen into. A lot of people have lost their lives to this COVID-19. how do you move on from there? When will it all be over? One of the things that I've noticed that has really reared its ugly frickin' head is racism against Chinese people worldwide. And that's something that is going to take a long, long time to change, to get back to where it was. You see, there was racism before, but now it's rampant in places like Australia. You get all of these videos of people attacking Chinese people. Watched one, a girl was attacking 2 Chinese girls. Well, Asian, I don't think she even knew whether they were Chinese or not. And then a guy came in to help, and this white piece of shit started spitting on the Chinese girls. You know, stuff like that. So when you say, when is the world going to be back to normal again? There's more to it than just economics. There's more to it than racism. There's people that have died from this. Families that have been devastated. If it was the person that was the breadwinner in the family that passed away because of this, well, there you've got another economic problem just for the fact that now what does that family do? So it's not just the government spending a lot of money. It's not just the racism. It's not just the macroeconomics of it all. It's the microeconomics, the businesses that have gone out of business that used to pay the way for families. It's it's all of that and more. And I think that when we look at when this is going to be over, I think that we're looking at long term. I'm thinking at least 7 to 10 years before you get any normalcy back in the economy, into the lives of people that have been affected by this, the racism, the discourse between countries like the United States and China, Australia and China, Canada and China. All of these, all of the bad words that have been said over the years has broken down barriers that have taken decades to build up. And I think that when you look at that, it's one of those things that it's going to be a long haul, and I don't think it'll ever go back to the way it was before. Anyway, that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button. Thanks for watching. Hit the bell. Don't forget to resubscribe. And whatever you do, don't forget to put a couple bucks on the children's Patreon account. It's for a good cause. It's for poor rural Chinese children. They just need a helping hand, and we can help them. Help me help them. Thanks for watching. Bye now. Okay guys, and don't forget, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Saturday morning, I think it's June 27th, it's Saturday morning, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. When will the world be back to normal? You've got Matt from Gweilo Nation, you've got Lee Barrett from the Barrett Channel, you got Alex from Reporterify Media, and Gweilo 60. So show up, be there. All your super chats will be answered. Super stickers to help everybody out. We're there on our time and our dime. So show up, make me proud, guys. I want to see big numbers. This is the first Saturday morning I've been around for a couple of weeks, and I want to see you there.